remember the first time that Maylene messaged me like to work with Bookwalker.
Yeah.
I thought it was a scam.
Honestly, I thought the same thing as well. I was just like,
no
no way, this is real.
Hold on a second. It says Kadokawa. I'm like, the Kadokawa? Nah. And I swear, the first one, I fucking deleted it immediately. I was like, nah, that's a scam. Get out of that. And then Maylene messaged me, emailed me again after a week, and she's like, I don't know if you read my last email, but we're interested in working with you. And I'm like, should I delete that again?
Oh, there was a YouTuber who I can't remember which one they got offered a role to voice an anime by Funimation.
Right.
And they
thought it was a scam?
And they publicly announced that they'd gotten the role
Right.
in the show. And it was just a fake email.
That's painful.
Oh my god.
That was like I don't think I've cringed out of body in pain for someone else more in my life.
I laughed, but that is just that's a bruh moment. Man.
If I did that shit and I found out it was a scam, I would just quit social media.
I think I would. Yeah, I would just
disappear from the
show my face.
Yeah.
Also, generally when you get roles and stuff, you're supposed to kind of
you're not supposed to say, right?
So I guess maybe it was like a test. It was like, aha, no role for you.
Gotcha.
It's like Willy Wonka. It's like, you were too greedy. No role for you.
Maybe it was really Funimation. They just needed to pass the test.
Right? It's like Indiana Jones, like the Holy Grail. It's like, you chose greed. No.
No, because like going back to the Bookwalker emails that we first got, I think looking back, Maylin must have emailed me way earlier before I actually replied for the first time.
Yeah.
And what got me to reply was meeting you for the first time and being like, oh yeah, that email from Maylin, did you get an email from Maylin as well? And I was just like, that's not a scam. That's real. That was real this entire time.
Wow.
I remember.
I've just been ghosting her and deleting all the emails.
I remember. I think I sent that email to about like 3 or 4 different family members just to be like, does this look fake? Because I'm really scared to reply to this shit and get like a virus. Because like I don't even know. Luckily it wasn't, but yeah. I don't know if it was the way that like Maylene wrote the email or what it was. Yes, I'm blaming Maylene.
And I think it was just before. This was before the point of AnyTube where we thought any kind of companies would contact us.
Because before that, like the biggest I had not worked with any big company, right? It was always like
that's true actually. Like it was not a thing.
I was still
at all.
tiny back then as well, so I was like, no way. I can't. This jump is too high. That's way too unrealistic.
I mean, arguably Bookwalker kind of like paved the way in that way. I feel like Bookwalker opened up.
I took the bullet for everyone.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll take it for the good of the people. Reply.
Did you see the YouTube scam though? Did you see what like the?
I saw what it was about because I think literally all of my other friends got that email, including you guys, and and so I was scared. I was sifting through my email as well, and I didn't get one.
So essentially what happened is that I got an email from a Google email.
Yeah.
That said, the message was something like, you have a duplicate AdSense account, and your channel will be deleted. And I think that is one of the rules of AdSense is that if you do actually have multiple AdSense accounts, you will you get banned off AdSense.
Yeah, that you can only have one AdSense account.
And they do send an email like that as well.
I only have one AdSense account, but I had multiple channels, so maybe I thought, oh my god, there must be a mix-up because I'd recently just had the new channel, and it was kind of but this is often how scams work though as well. They prey on very coincidental circumstances that have been happening outside of the scam itself. Like Jim Browning said in his thing, it's like, sometimes you just order the product at Amazon, 10 minutes later you get a scam email about Amazon. Just pure coincidence. But it happens to play off a little bit, right? Concerns. So it's this thing, and the one thing that was probably the red flag, which I think did make me unsure, but again I was kind of so worried that I was like, I should just I went to hear him out at least. It was through Google Hangouts. But it was a Google email. So I was like, okay, well, it's a bit weird because normally they would just... But then again, I've never had correspondence through Google because they're so shit at talking to you. I don't even know how they would reach out to me. Because they've done email in the past, but sometimes they haven't. So I don't really understand. I think that also is one of the reasons why a lot of people did fall for this. Because YouTube is so unclear on how they reach out to you.
I mean, the only time I've ever talked to Google directly is through Twitter.
When I've spoken to them, I've never had someone reach out to me. That's never happened. So I'm talking to them and they're going through the thing and they're like, oh, yeah, you have a duplicate AdSense account. And I'm like, that doesn't sound right. I don't have the duplicate AdSense account. And they're like, oh, well, you do. And I'm like, okay, well, what's the ID on the AdSense account? Because AdSense accounts have IDs. Yeah. And he gave me an ID and it was just like not even remotely close to anything. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's weird. And I was like, can you tell me about the account then? What's the duplication? And he just couldn't tell me anything.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, it's all private, which would kind of make sense, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, fine, all right. Well, I was like, can you tell me that you're a Google employee? Can you show some proof? And he was like, no. And I was like,
because I'm not.
yeah, and I was like, all right, well.
Scooby-Doo mask reveal.
At this point, and then what he was trying to do, and he was, you can make multiple YouTube accounts under one email.
Yeah.
And so he told me to make a new YouTube account. So I did this because I was just curious to see what the steps he was telling me to do were.
Yeah.
Because I knew none of this was permanent and it doesn't really matter if you make a new account.
Yeah.
'Cause it doesn't like delete anything.
Yeah.
So he told me to make a new YouTube account and then go to the YouTube account management page and then have the new account that I made take over the old channel. Now what this does is that it deletes all the videos.
Right.
And deletes everything.
It's especially like a factory reset.
It kind of just puts like, it's just like this channel, it's like, and it's going to plaster it on top.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Brand new. Nothing else was here before.
Right.
That's kind of it.
It's just a cover up, right?
Yeah, and you know, and it just deletes everything.
Yeah.
And then he was telling me to do that. And so I got to the point where I clicked on like I wanted to see what the menu was to do it. And I was going through steps and it was like, oh yeah, it'll delete everything except for like likes and comments and stuff. And I was like, what the fuck, that's weird. But and then I was like, no, this doesn't seem right. This seems a little weird.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, sorry, I'm going to contact YouTube myself because I don't trust this at all. And so I closed the chat. I contact YouTube. I'm like, hey, is anything wrong with my accounts? You know, is everything's going to be deleted? He's like, no, that's all good. And I'm like, you're sure? This guy said it was. And he's like, no, it's all good. And I was like, oh. Okay, then I guess I'll carry on. And then I found out it was a big steal, and that multiple people had fallen for it.
Yeah. I mean, I think the problem was that you could just, even if you wanted to ask an official person at YouTube, who'd you contact?
Yeah, I had to like do a web chat with someone at Google.
How'd you do that? Is that possible?
Yeah, you can do like a web chat.
There are real employees at Google.
I don't know if it's real. I'm
probably just like the most advanced AI bot
AI,
you've ever seen.
Really sure. I think within their website, it's like, would you like to talk to someone? So it's like a pop-up in the
It's one of those services.
I was chatting to him on thing, and then he would just ask information and stuff. And yeah, it was actually surprisingly easy. But you know, I think that might have been just YouTube. I don't know. You know, it's all a blur.
That's the thing. That's the problem. It's so everything is so hidden in secrecy that if someone did come up to you and was like, this is who we are, we're Google, we're YouTube, you have a problem, then like most people, like especially for the smaller YouTubers, they wouldn't know any better because they probably think to themselves, well, I guess, you know, no one's really told me how to contact Google. I guess this is how they contact you, right? And that's probably why so many people fell for it.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Did you have something to say?
No, that was it. Jim Browning fell for it, and a few other big names. The Spiffing, I think, fell for it as well.
Lots of big YouTubers fell for it. Yeah.
I mean, it's convincing.